We are going to learn the Gatha. This Gatha is in this document here. And you have a sort of a diagram as well. So let me go to this particular document. It says, Dadatu punyam pavaddati. Sangameto veran nachiyati. Kusalocha jahati papaka. Raga dosa mohakyasa nibbutoti. Dadatu punyam pavaddati means by giving merit grows. Sangameto veran nachiyati means no risk is stored for one restrained. Kusalocha jahati papakam. He who is killed, abandoned evil things. Raga dosa mohakyasa nibbutoti means with the exhaustion of lust, hate and delusion, he attains complete extinction. So, if we look at these terms over here in the Gatha, this Gatha is there in the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, and the Pitakopadesa, that's page 314, explain this one. For one who gives is the ground for making, merit consisting in giving is stated. No risk is stored for one restrained, the ground for merit consisting in virtue is stated. One who is killed abandons evil. He states the abandoning of greed and delusion and ill will. With exhaustion of lust, hate and delusion, he attains complete extinction. He states the driving out of will and lust for greed, delusion and ill will. And it is further explained, it says, merit will grow for one who gives. This is the profitable route for non-greed. That is correct, isn't it? If you are giving something to someone, shirt or something, then you need to give up whatever the attachment you have for that shirt or the price that you pay for that. Even if you are giving a monk some alms food, you need to get rid of your attachment for that alms food. So that is the profitable route, non-greed. No risk is stored for one restraint. And that is the profitable route, non-hate. That one is also right, isn't it? Because if I am not restraining my faculties, then I look at someone, then I get the covetousness, abhijja. And then in the next millisecond, I find some sort of a fault in that particular person, maybe a pimple or something. So then I get sort of sadness out of that. And then further spinning, I will get ill will and hate. So if I am restraining, I am going to look at. So there is no covetousness, no sadness. So there won't be hate. So that is the route for non-hate. One who is killed abandons evil is the profitable route, non-delusion. So with the exhaustion of greed, hate, delusion, he attains complete extinction. He alludes to the fruit of path, arahantship, and the extinction element without the trace. The extinction element without the trace means that, Buddha has attained final nibbana. And so there is nothing left. And again it says, merit will grow for one who gives. By his giving freedom from fear to breathing things, the abstention from killing breathing things gives the freedom from fear to creatures. This is what is called abhayadana. That there is a cow or something that going to be killed, that you release that one, free, so that you are giving the freedom from fear to the creature. So it says in the same way, all the training precepts can be cited. So in other words, if you are not killing, then all the other precepts follow with it. No risk is stored for one restraint. He restrains cognizance by establishing it in virtue. And when he is restraining, his virtue comes to fulfillment. So in other words, you are restraining, your virtue remain as it is. So you come to the fulfillment. So that is what is explained in this Gatha. So let us go back to this diagram and learn it. So remember we learned about 4 bad ways in the second meditation today. So opposed to those, there are 4 good ways. So they are labeled over here: painful way with sluggish acquaintanceship, and the painful way with swift acquaintanceship, the pleasant way, and the pleasant way with quick acquaintanceship. So between those, they are called patipada or paths. We have marked this Gatha. The giving, by giving merit grows. That's Dadato Punyam Pavaddati is written here. First line of the Gatha. Second line written down below. No risk is stored for one restraint. Sanyamuto veran nachiyate. On the top, he who is killed abandons evil things. Kusalocha jahati papakam. On the right side, with the exhaustion of lust, hate, delusion, he attains complete extinction. Raga dosa mohakyasa nibhutoti. Now this, by giving merit grows. What sort of meritorious things that you are doing? You are first offer Buddha the flowers, milk, rice and so on. And so some young people looking at it, they say, what are you doing? You are to a sort of a statue, you are offering food. What's the point of that one? Although they say it that way, what you are doing has got merit. What you are actually doing is, Buddha, before he became enlightened as a bodhisattva, he went to this samsara. For a long time he suffered to find this path to enlightenment, and having found that one, he took us away from that one, and he was teaching us how to get rid of it. So you are paying gratitude to the Buddha. That's why you offer these things. So gratitude means that is against the derogation. Remember, derogation, you are taking qualities out. Now you are actually remembering qualities and maturing on it. So therefore, there is merit on that one. And on the other hand, you are giving alms food to Buddhist monks. You are helping those innocent creatures, giving food and so on. And you are helping your relatives or so on. So then, there is merit from that one. So there is another way. It says, Sabbadanan Dhammadanan Jinati. Out of those giving, this giving Dhamma is the sort of a highest thing. And then there is another way of giving. That is called Abhayadana. That is, you are taking the fear out of someone. Someone is, let us say, a cow just about to be slaughtered. Then you pay the price to the, this slaughtering person. For the butcher, you rescue that cow. So, the cow was afraid and you gave the freedom from the fear. So, let us start from that particular point. Let us say that you have a chicken in your garden, and then you can do 2 things to that chicken. One thing is you can kill that one and eat the flesh. The other one is you don't kill. So those are the 2 decisions. You let it live. So if you are killing the chicken, then you are doing this killing part. So the first precept is now violated. And not only that, the chicken never told you, please sir, have my flesh. So you are taking what is not given. So that is stealing. So now you can see, by doing panatipata or killing, you are stealing as well. Not only that, whatever the lifespan that chicken has acquired by birth, now you are destroying it, you are taking it as well. So now you can see it is like a sequence. You know, killing means killing, and then you are taking the flesh, that is stealing, and then you are taking the lifespan. So let us take the other decision, that you are not going to kill. Then if you are not going to kill, you are refraining from killing. So the first precept will last. And on the other hand, whatever the flesh that chicken acquired by birth and then, growing in his body, you let that chicken consume it and live the life. So you are refraining from stealing. Whatever the lifespan chicken acquired by birth, you are letting it continue. So you are not taking the life away from the chicken. So now you can see, by not killing, you are not stealing and not taking the lifespan as well. That's why it says that all the precepts should be cited when you are actually doing this abhedana, or the given the freedom to the creature from this fear. So that is the way we are going to start the meditation. The meditation is easier over here. What you need to think about the meritorious things that you have done. You see, we need to enter this particular box here by giving merit prose. Now you can see we have written gladness. Pamojjam pacceo. So the gladness is the condition for you to enter into this particular box. That is, that when you give alms to the Buddhist monks, do charity, that day you are really happy. Someone else is coming or beggar is coming, please give me something, sir, and you are happy to give. So the gladness is the condition. And the cause for this one is the non-greed, alobha. That means, if you are giving a shirt or something, you need to get rid of the greed for that money, for that particular shirt. So that is the cause. So there is a cause and the condition. So how do you enter this cage? You are entering that particular box by recalling your meritorious deeds, that you have constructed temples, giving alms food to the Buddhist monks, then cutting a cheever, offering 8 requisite robe materials, or maybe you are releasing a cow from, its fear, about to be slaughtered, you release it. So then you are in this particular box over here by giving merit cross. And from there you are going to go into this, the second one. No risk is stored for one restraint. For you to go there, you can see there is this condition here and the cause here. The condition is determination for relinquishment. You see, this is the place that you are going to get rapture. Now you are recalling that day I saved that cow by paying 50,000 rupees. So, those divine beings in the divine world, they went over there because of the generosity. One part is generosity. Now you are saying, I also have that one. That day I saved that cow by paying 50,000 rupees. I am a person who can give up 50,000 rupees. So when you recall you to mind that your ability to give up something, then the rapture will flow. So from your head. So that is the condition. And the cause for this one, enter into this one, is the wise attention. It's called Yodiso Manasikara. That is, you are thinking about impermanent, subject to suffering, and not self. So, impermanent, did we do that meditation about impermanence? We did, isn't it? That's the first meditation you did, the concentration meditation, arising and passing away phenomena. So that is arising and passing means impermanent. And also, did we look at suffering? We look at suffering. First day, birth, aging, sickness, death. And little while ago also, you did that meditation about birth, aging, sickness and suffering with the 4 nutriment suffering. And in the morning we were looking at painfulness in change, painfulness as pain, painfulness in constructions. So now you know that the sadness is included in the suffering. So if I don't restrain, then I look at someone, I get the covetousness, and then next moment I get sadness. So if I know sadness is included in the suffering, part of the suffering, why would I not restrain? So since I am restraining, then I am, since I am actually, if I know that it is sadness is there as suffering, I would restrain. It goes both ways. So when you come over here, then it says it fulfill your virtue, precepts will be, lasting. How is that? You see that, let's say this person is a poor person, and having heard Dhamma, he thought, okay, I'm not going to kill this chicken, let it live. And then, what he actually gave up, you can see, that chicken has got 2 kilos or something of flesh. So whatever greediness for that 2 kilos you gave up, that is what you did in the determination for relinquishment. Now suppose this person is hungry, next day also, hasn't got anything to eat. Now if the chicken is, going in front of him, if he is not restraining his faculties, when he look at the chicken, he might think, I will kill it and eat and live. But if you are restraining, you don't even know whether the chicken is there or not. You are not paying any attention. So whatever the virtue you were actually holding before will last. You are not going to change your decisions. From this place over here, no risk is stored from one restraint. Now we are going to go to the top one. He who is skilled abandons evil things. Kusalochi jahati papaka. When you come over here, you are a skillful person. For you to go there, there is a statement here. You can see, seeing how things are really as it is. Yatha bhuta dassanam paccayo. So what is that scene? That scene over here is the determination for wisdom, prajñāditthāna. So this determination for wisdom is, it's explained in Dhatu Vibhanga Sutta, element discourse, in middle and say. And over there Buddha is saying, there are the 6 elements. Element of extension, element of cohesion, element of motion, and element of heat. So those are the 6 elements. Buddha said that element of extension is internal as well as external. What is the element of extension? That is internal. You see, in our body, that there are these 32 parts, the head hairs, body hairs, nails, teeth, skin, flesh, sinew, and then you have bones, bone marrow, kidneys, heart, liver, pleura, spleen, and then we have lungs, intestine, essentially, and then we do have this content of the stomach and the excrement. So we were talking about 19 parts over here. If you add your brain to that one, that will be 20 parts over here. Well, those things has got the element of extension. These are the hard things in your body. So now you can see the excrement is element of extension. So in your garden, maybe there is this someone, that excrement is there. It may be from a creature, maybe from a human being. So that is also element of extension. That is external. The excrement inside the element of extension, that is internal. There is no difference between the element of extension, whether it is internal or external. Now, in your garden, the excrement, do you take that one as mine? No one is taking this excrement as mine. So now you are saying the outside excrement is the element of extension, it is not mine. So the element of extension is the same, whether it is internal or external. So in that case, element of extension inside your body, that excrement, is also not mine. So you cleanse your mind from the element of extension. Whatever hard things over here, starting from the hair of the body to the excrement. So you get rid of that one as not mine. Whether it is internal or external, they are not mine. Well, sometimes your mind might get upset about it, because for the excrement, yes, it is disgusting thing, I don't want, it's not mine. So your consciousness is not fighting with you. But when it comes to the hair part over here, then it might get upset about it, because in the morning you comb it, you treat it, you think it as a nice thing. Now if it is happening, then you think, the hair outside on the ground, do you take that hair as yours? No. So that is, you are saying, that is the element of extension, and that is external. It is not mine. So the element of extension, there is no difference between the internal and external. So if the outside hair is not mine, then the inside one also is not mine. So you cleanse your mind from the element of extension. Whatever element of extension whatever hard thing in the world, in the whole universe, outside or inside, you are taking, they are as not mine. And then Buddha is talking about the element of cohesion. What is the element of cohesion? Internal. So in our body we do have this bile, phlegm, pus, blood, sweat, fat, tears, tallow, saliva, snot, synovial fluid, that's the oil of the joints, and the urine. There are 12 parts over here. So urine is a element of cohesion, that is internal. So in your garden, maybe someone has urinated, and there is this urine. Do you take that urine as mine? So it is not mine. So now you say, the outside urine, that is the element of cohesion, it is not mine. Then the inside urine, also element of cohesion, it's the same. The outside is not mine, then inside one is also not mine. So your consciousness is not fighting with that one. You are happy because urine you put into the commode and flush it out. So in the same way, you go through these 12 parts over here, and you are saying these things are not mine, whether this is internal or external. But it may be an instant that your mind is a bit fighting with you. Why? Because you are saying this blood is not mine. You know that when you have some sort of a wound, then you put a plaster and stop the blood coming out. Now you are saying it is not mine. So if you are getting confused and having some sort of a problem with it, this idea, then you need to train your mind again. Like you are teaching a little guy, you are asking, the urine outside, is that the element of cohesion? Yes. Is it mine? No, it is not mine. Then the inside one is also not mine. So in that way, the blood is also element of cohesion. So now you said little while ago, element of cohesion is not mine. So therefore, blood is not mine. So now you cleanse your mind from the liquid things in your body, whatever watery type things, whether it is internal or external, in the whole universe. Someone might be thinking, this, blood, sweat, fat, all those things are dirty things. But that waterfall, nice thing, that it is mine. then if you think that the waterfall is actually urine that is coming out, come from that one, then you disregard it as, it's not mine. So, from the element of cohesion, internal or external, you get rid of it. And then, there is this element of motion, which is also internal as well as external. So, in your body, in your stomach, there is this air going upward, burps, and then you are going from the bottom and so on. So, that is the element of motion. The motion is there. So, do you take the air that is coming out from your bottom as yours? So, you are saying that those are the element of motion, that it is not mine. In the same way, whatever the outside, the air is flowing and whatever the motion is there, you are taking this one as not mine. Internal and external, both you purify your mind, you cleanse your mind from that one, element of cohesion. Again, you might get some sort of a troubling point over here, because we are saying air is not mine. So that means inhaling and exhaling, that part is also not mine. So if you get trouble, then you need to teach like that little boy, you are teaching, starting from the first one, then you go through this one. And then in our body, there is this heat. Your body is subject to aging, and even the fruit will be, ripened because of the heat. So in your house, you have this bin, and in that particular bin, there is a polythene bag. And after putting those dirty things, then 2 days later, let us touch it outside, and then you can see there is a heat in this one, in your garbage bin. Do you regard that heat as yours? You don't. So, because of the bacteria and things, that there is this heat. So then don't regard this garbage bin inside, that is your belly and all those things, whatever the heat there, because of the bacteria and so on, then there is this heat over here as well. So you cleanse your minds from the element of heat, whether the internal or the external, in the whole universe, you are getting rid of that one as not mine. So when you do that one, is there anything left? From this body you can see it's all gone, isn't it? Nothing. So at that time, you are here. You come, you reach to the He who is killed, abandoned evil things. And then over here Buddha said, when you do this, then your mind becomes pure and bright. Evam pariyodhanam parisuddham, pure and bright. You see that our mind got defiled because of falling to this, excrement, urine and so on. But when you discard those things as not yours, then it becomes pure. And you are a skillful person. So this Gatha we are using for two things. One thing is the contemplation of distaste about the whole world. The other one is the contemplation of impermanence of all formations. So when we look at the contemplation of impermanence in all formations, here it says a monk is troubled. And Pali word is attiyati, or worried. And then harayati, that means humiliated. And then next one is the jigucchati, that means disgusted with all formations. So attiyati is troubled, worried. Harayati is humiliated. And then disgusted means the jigucchati, that is this loathes, he loathed it. And with all formation. Now, what are we getting troubled with? You see, we are getting troubled with this, if you are sick, it's a trouble, isn't it? So, now you can see that there is a mental sickness as well. So if you are spinning for 8 rounds, first time you look at someone, you are saying this hair is beautiful, and oh, that person is beautiful, and in the next millisecond you find in the second round that pimple or something. So you are not happy with that one, but you keep on spinning. When you go for 8 rounds, what you get is sloth and torpor, sickness of the mind and sickness of mental states. So why is it? Because we were spinning, not having the restraint. So if I am restraining, then I don't look, then there is no this covetousness. So I don't keep on spinning, so I don't get the sloth and torpor, sickness. So you can see, since I am restraining, I am not getting troubled from this, the sickness, mentally sickness I am talking about. See, this particular one is written with the 2 good ways over here, in the second and the third one. And these are against what we discussed little more in the morning. Remember that we were looking at this, the second meditation today, that the second path, contact as nutriment, the mental volition as nutriment. And in between you can see sickness. By spinning, what you are getting at the sickness. So, no risk is stored for restraint is written just above the sickness cage, sickness point over here. So then I am not going to have the sickness. So therefore you can see from this one, then I am free from trouble. I don't have to worry about it. So the attiyati part, trouble part is got rid of from this no risk is stored part. And then the harayati, humiliated. What are we ashamed of? We are ashamed of when you lie to someone. Then sometimes your hand is coming, oh, I said sort of a lie to that person, So, only if you are lying, then you have to be ashamed. So when I am coming over here, he who is kill, abandon evil things, do I lie? I don't lie. Because you can see, how do I lie? If I take this leg as mine, then I am lying. But do I do that one now? I don't, because in the determination for wisdom, I am saying, the excrement outside is not mine, excrement inside is not mine. So whatever hard in the body, I disregard them as not mine. And whatever the liquid things, I disregard. So therefore, I am not saying this leg is mine, the body is mine, this wife is mine, husband is mine, house is mine, mine part is gone. So therefore, I am not lying. So then you can see the humiliated part, ashamed. You don't have to ashame of anything because you are not doing it. You are not lying. Again, how do we have this line? Yesterday, third meditation, you learned. There is this fair perception of beauty, and then you add the permanency to it, then you get the pleasure. Remember that you're cutting down the mango and you are taking its pleasurable thing. So, in other words, this line is also occurring because of this. Our perception about fair, our perception about the permanency. So, the next one is jigucchati. That means I am disgusted about these perceptions. Fair is, while it is actually ugly sort of thing, I am saying it's fair. What is there is in the foulness. So I am disgusted about this, changing the real nature and saying this excrement is a good thing. So now you are fed up with that one, and you are giving up over here. You see that we are touching this determination for relinquishment, and that is very important. Sampati Mahaprabhu asked me to draw this diagram, so I made it like a square over here. And then he said, no, that is not correct. You need to touch this determination for relinquishment, because he knows what Buddha meant. Over here, that means we are actually giving up this, giving up that fair, our perception about the fair, and also this perception about this pleasure, wrong things that we are actually doing, then we are giving up over here. Determination for relinquishment. So then you can see from this Gatha, we have the contemplation of impermanence in all formations. So the troubled part removed from the no risk is stored one, and then this humiliated part is removed because of I am using the determination for wisdom now I'm here. And when you come to over here, we are giving up those perceptions that make me lie, like fear and also pleasure. Those are removed. But you don't give up anything unless you know the peril of that one. You see, when you come over here, you are a skillful person. Some people are in the fifth jhana. They see a black space. Some people see the light. The consciousness is infinite. There is no limit over here, because you can be that much skillful. When I conducted this session in Kurunegala in Sri Lanka, one person came and that person said, when I was doing this meditation, he said that his chin area over here, and he felt like that, ants are running around or something like that one, sort of feeling. Then I asked, what were you doing by that time? And then he could not remember at once, so he went and came back and he said, what I was doing at that time is that I remove the elements in the mind-made body. You see, when you do the determination for wisdom, then, this body parts are not mine and so on, then you are going into the space is infinite or consciousness infinite, you above the sky. So you see, perceive light and so on. And then now he actually determining this light and all those things I see from the mind-made body. So then I am saying, he is thinking these mind-made body parts are also elements. So they are not mine as well. So what he got was this mudita cheto vimukti, the liberation due to appreciative joy. So that's why this is, ants are running around sort of scenario. So that's why I'm saying there's no ending of this particular one. It is so vast. Some may be going to the sort of black space and coming back, but some may be going further beyond that. But let us say you go into the fifth jhana realm, where the space is infinite, you look at the space is there. Sometimes you feel like staying there, because the fifth jhana, space is infinite level. It has this 10 characteristic of Nibbana in it. Like there is nothing for you to steal. That space is infinite and there's nothing to steal sort of scenario. Therefore, those characteristics are there. Some people feel like staying there. But if you see this one, the determination for truth, then you are happy to give up. What is this determination for truth? The determination for truth is that, whatever in this world is subject to falsity, whatever it is lasting is only the Nibbana. So, we will explain this one further tomorrow. So, the Nibbana is the only thing that is lasting. So, having understood that one, now he is happy to give up. The space is infinite, consciousness is infinite, whatever level of this attainment and whatever thing they are in that space. Let's say you are in the space is infinite, then there is a sort of a happiness. That pleasure, you see, you are happy to give up over here, which is touching over here. So you come to the determination for truth. So when you come over here, that means he has a noble attainment. Because he is disregarding anything in the world as mine, he is not taking that as mine. So he has the noble attainment because of the what is called anatta lakkana, is not self, is achieved. And so this person is now giving up this and come to the determination for truth. And you can see again we are touching determination for relinquishment. That means we are giving up something over here. And let us look at that one later. So we are going to with the exhaustion of lust, hate, delusion, he attains complete extinction. For you to read there is a sort of a sentence written. It says, another's utterance and wise attention in oneself and the path are the cause and the condition. The path, that is the Noble Eightfold Path, is the cause and the condition for coming here. And the another's utterance. The another's utterance is that you need to hear it from someone. We heard from Buddha. Buddha said it is by getting rid of this lust, hate and delusion you attain Nibbana. And the wise attention in oneself. So what is the wise attention in oneself? The wise attention in oneself is what is called Dhamma Dhatu and Manayatana. That is the mind and the phenomena, whatever the idea. Mind and the idea. Why are we talking about the mind and the idea? Why we are not talking about the eye and the form, ear and the sound? Because we have dealt with it already. We got rid of it. Where? When we are talking about determination for wisdom, we said experiment outside is not mine. Experiment inside is not mine. So you cleanse your mind from the element of extension, element of cohesion, element of motion and element of heat. So whatever thing you can perceive from your eye is not there. You got rid of it as disregarded, as not mine. So what is left is, after getting rid of that one, that these things are not mine. That is the Dhamma, that's the phenomena, that's the idea. And the mind. Mind and the idea. That these are not mine. That is what is left. So what are we giving up over here? Determination for relinquishment. The Petagopasesa says that if you are not giving up, that whatever the greed for you, for these planes like space is infinite, consciousness is infinite, that is called Arupa Dhyana, formless attainment. And not giving up your desire for those attainments is the tendency to ignorance. Anusaya, avidya, anusaya tendencies, latent tendencies are not giving up your attachment to those formless sphere attainments. So it is worth telling sort of example here. It is that the story about the sort of a wet cloth, let's say wet towel. If you have a wet towel in your house, what do? You squeeze it and then you want to sort of get rid of the water, and then there is some sort of moisture, then you put it outside, isn't it? To get it dry in the cloth rack, cloth line. So when you put into the cloth line, does it get dried up? It may or may not. If there is rain, then you won't get it dry. And if there is no sun, again you are not going to get it dry. But there are instances where it is sunny, but no rain, but still it is not getting dry, because time to time you are using your hose and wetting it. So then it won't get dry. The time to time you are putting the hose means you are letting the craving come to it, touching by the craving. So therefore you won't get dry. It won't get dry. So this is what we are talking about. How do we actually get rid of the water? We squeeze it. Element of extension is not mine. Element of cohesion is not mine. Element of motion is not mine. Element of heat is not mine. So when you do that one, now the towel water is gone, but the moisture is there. That is the tendency. That is the latent tendencies, anusaya. So now you are putting to the clothesline and wetting dry means that you are not, if you are not touching with, craving, because of the craving you are putting the hose. If you are not doing that one, then it will completely vanish. So in that case, what you are giving up over here is the tendencies, anusaya. So this same gatha we are using for what is called sabbaloke anubirata sanya. That is the contemplation of distaste for the whole world. So the contemplation of distaste for the whole world has got three things. Yesterday also we look at this one as the last meditation. The mental standpoints, aditthana. And then this inclination, abhinivesa, adherences. And then the anusaya, tendencies, latent tendencies. Remember we learned the tendency to attachment lies latent in pleasurable feeling and so on. So, now by using this, this determination for truth, determination for relinquishment, determination for wisdom, determination for calm, by using those things, you can get rid of these, your mental standpoints. Your mind would stand on these ones, the flood of sensual desire, flood of existence, flood of views and flood of ignorance. So, if you are talking about flood of sensual desire, so this is what is called mental standpoints, aditthana. So if I am using the determination for truth, and we can get rid of the flood of sensual desire. How? What is the flood of sensual desire says? Let us say you are a person, you are very weak because you are sick, you haven't got enough to eat, you haven't got, your body is so weak, you can't live sort of thing. So then someone is coming and giving you something, eat this one and then you will be alright sort of scenario. But what the determination for truth is telling? It says whatever thing in the world is subject to falsity. What is lasting is only the Nibbana. So whatever thing you feed with some, honey and whatever thing it is, you won't last. So therefore the flood of sensual desire, you can get rid of. And if you have the determination for relinquishment, then the flood of existence will go away. How the flood of existence? To understand this one, I can give you a bit of a story. In Sri Lanka, in the month of April, the grandmother in rural area sort of receiving quite a lot of things from her, children and, daughter-in-laws and so on. They come and some sort of betel leaves in their hand and offer that one and then give a towel or something to this lady. So then the son-in-law is coming or daughter-in-law is coming and son is coming and so on. They are doing the same thing. So grandma is happy. But now the April month is over, then they have gone into their houses and so on. Now grandma has got a problem because the grandma got quite a lot of towels. The space otherwise she could have used for putting her clothes, now occupied by these towels. So one day she gets this fortunate thing. Someone is coming to do the gardening and she is going there to give that person the money, and that person is now washing from the the tap and then try to dry it from his sarong. And grandma is asking, don't you have a towel? No, I don't have a towel. So grandma says, stay there, I will give you something. And so she is happy to get rid of the towel because he got so many towels and give it to that one, and that person was so happy. And thank you grandma, I never had a towel. And then grandma is now coming home with the happy mind, because she made that person happy. So now she learned, used to something. Next month also someone is coming and then giving the towel ask whether you have a towel and give a towel, and then she become happy. And then she get this particular problem of, that supply and demand. Because next year comes, the children are talking to each other and asking, what are we going to give the grandma? So one is saying, don't give towels. I saw cupboard full of towels in this town. They do not know what she has been doing. So then they are not giving towels. No, the grandma cannot become happy. So this grandma is sort of prudent person, wise person. Now she is telling her, the sons, son-in-laws, daughters and so on, don't bring towels. I have given up the happiness that I am getting from the towels. I have given up the happiness that when I am giving away the towels. The happiness when I am getting the towels means that is this foam, that is the foam, fear, whatever the birds, that I got rid of that one. And I am giving up towels means I am getting rid of the foam. That is, I am having the formless fear. So whatever the formless fear, birds, I have given up those. So therefore, the flood of existence you got rid of from the determination for relinquishment. And when you have the determination for wisdom, the flood of views will be got rid of. What is this flood of views telling? In the flood of views, that you do have this, that leg is mine, body is mine, husband is mine, wife is mine, car is mine, job is mine, mind scenario. But since we have the determination of wisdom, what we are saying? The experiment outside is the element of extension. Experiment inside is the element of extension. So it's no difference whether internal or extension. You got rid of it. From the entire universe, wherever the element of extension, the hard thing, you got rid of. Element of cohesion, you got rid of. Element of heat and element of motion. So then, are you saying this leg is mine? You said that this experiment and hard things, whatever thing it is in the body, you disregarded them as not mine. So therefore, you got rid of the flood of views. And the determination for calm. If you have that one, then flood of ignorance will be removed. So now these adhittana, mental standpoints, are gone. The abhinivesa, inclination. What are we inclined to? This lying, harsh speech, slander and frivolous talks, that sort of thing. But am I lying? Because the determination for wisdom, we were disregarding them, experiment, element of extension, experiment. Outside, it is not mine. Inside, not mine. So, therefore, I am not lying, I am not saying this leg is mine and so on. So that part is also gone. Abhinivesa, inclination is gone. And then the tendencies, remember that wet cloth example? So the tendencies got rid of over here. So now you come to this raga dosa mohakya. That's the lust, hate and delusion. Then you got rid of that one. And then you are going from that place to the determination for calm. The determination for calm means that, if you have a big rock, when the wind is flowing from various directions, would it shake? It doesn't. Likewise, that it is coming from greed, hate, delusion, this one is not shaking. Because you got rid of it, it is not shaking. Or else, let us say, you are inside a sort of a fortress and some 3 enemies are trying to creep in to this fortress. So there are 3 guards and those guards are not letting any one of them come in. So if they are not coming in, then you can see there is a calmness inside the fortress. If at least one of them are inside, then the soldiers they go to fight with those ones. So those enemies are the greed, hate and delusion. So therefore the calmness will be there. So that is the Gatha. And that is the meditation as well. So how do we do the meditation? So you need to enter this first one. First box over here, by giving merit grows. How do you do that one? You recall to your mind whatever the meritorious deeds you have done. Alms given to Buddhist monks, whatever the charity that you have done. Some people are thinking even the saving an ant, from the drowning in the water, you have saved that one. So that is also a sort of merit. So don't think it is a small or big, just think about it. So then you are in this particular first box. Now from here you are going to no risk is stored. How do you go? Determination for relinquishment. That day when I construct the temple, I spent about 600,000 rupees or so. So I am a person who can give up 600,000 rupees. So when you recall to your mind your ability to give up, then the rapture will flow from your head. Yeah. So, else that, that day I saved that cow by paying this 50,000 rupees or so. I am a person who can give up. Those divine beings in the divine world, they are born there because of their generosity. I also have that one. I can give up 50,000 rupees. I can give up, $1,000 or whatever it is. So when you recall that one, then the rapture is flowing from your head. So now you are in the no risk is stored for one restraint. So some people, for the whole meditation part, 30 minutes, they are from the first one to the second one. Because they recall, I helped that person. Oh, I helped that person as well. I construct the temple. So it is coming back and rapture is flowing and happy. So you again recall. So I'm not saying that one is a skillful person. That person has got a skill to give up. But you see, you are skilled when you are coming to the third one. So remember that. So need to come over here. He who is skilled abandon evil things. Kusalochi jahati papa. To come to that one, this is the most important. Determination for wisdom. So how do you do that one? The excrement outside is the element of extension. And it is not mine. The excrement inside is the element of extension. So they are both same. No difference. So if the outside one is not mine, inside one is not mine. So you cleanse your mind from the element of extension, whether it is internal or external, from the whole universe. So you got rid of the element of extension. And then the element of cohesion. Urine outside is element of cohesion. The urine inside is also element of cohesion. So outside one is not mine. Then the same way inside one is not mine. So you disregard, you cleanse your mind on the element of cohesion, whether it's internal or external. And similarly, element of motion and element of heat. So now you are a clever person, you are skilled. So you have kusal over here when you come to up this one. So it's very important, this part. So here, then you are giving up, remember we are using for contemplation for impermanence. So the attiyati part over here, troubled, you got rid of because you are restraining. And harayati, that is this humiliated. I don't have to be ashamed of anything because I don't lie. Because I was saying this leg is not mine, husband is not mine. All those things are not mine. And the jigucchati, that is, you are disgusted with those perceptions like fear, like pleasure, that give rise to lying. So they are formed from those perceptions. So you are giving up. But over here, you need to see this one. Some people sort of stay here because you have a noble attainment when you come to that one. And then you are above, some people are space is infinite, far away. The consciousness is infinite. You see that light. That light is your light. So why do you take your light as yours? The light producing from your head as yours. So if you are disregarding them as well, then you can go to the determination for truth over here. Because you are, whatever the pleasure that arises, because you see beautiful things when you are above, and you are giving up those pleasure as well. So you can come over here. And over here you should not be clinging even to the truth. And then you are giving up this, determination for relinquishment. You are touching over here. That means tendencies are also got rid of. So from in one go, we are actually applying for this Sabbaloki Anabrata Sanya, that is contemplation of distaste, for the whole world as well. Remember that grandma's example and so on. So then you are coming to with the exhaustion of lust, hate and delusion, he attains complete extinction. So if you come over here, that means you are an Arahant. So sometimes people, for the 30 minutes, first one to the second one. Some people go through this one many times. That doesn't mean that person became an Arahant, but it means that in the first time he was getting rid of some, and the second time getting rid of more, and so on. So you may be in between. So, and don't be sort of do foolish things either. Because one person, again in Kurunegala, that person said, I did not recall anything, any giving or anything like that one. Maybe that person is not a generous person, not haven't given anything. I straight away started from this one. No hate, no risk is stored for one restraint, and did this determination for wisdom. That person didn't get anything. Why? Because then you became a sort of a, foolish person. Over here, you see, now here we are trying to say experiment is not mine. Some people can't even get rid of that one. You need to uplift your mind. Some people are thinking this experiment, I can actually use that one for the fertilizer in my garden. So therefore you can't even get rid of that one. So now here you can see, when you have the determination for relinquishment, your mind is uplifted. I am a person who can give up. Then the mind is tend to give up. Whatever way you train your mind, then it is going in that way. If you train it to sensuality, then it is heading for that one. If you are training your mind for renunciation, it is happy to have the renunciation and giving up. So you need to use that Buddha's technique, that how do you know that you have the ability to give up? You got to have example that I have done it in the past, that I have released this cow, I have constructed the temple, I have given alms giving, so I am a person, generous person. So your mind is up. So then because of those things, and you can give up even the experiment and all those things. So don't be a pandit that start from this, your ability to give up, and then don't forget about this determination for wisdom. That is important as well. It's very important. So that is the meditation. So let us take 10 or 15 minutes for you to take this one to your mind, having a discussion, and then we will do the meditation.